يفنى الكل ويبقى هو ليس الباقي إلا هو الله 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 ما لي رب إلا هو.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. Now, this is verse number 6 and verse number 7 of Surah Al-Baqarah. In it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that very clearly, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, verily for those in whose destiny is unbelief, infidelity. Verily for those in whose destiny is kufr, is unbelief, it is alike for them. It is alike for them whether you caution them or caution them not. It is alike for them whether you caution them or caution them not. They will not bring iman. They will not bring iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. They will not believe. They will not bring iman. Okay? And thereafter, ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. Allah is saying that Allah has set a seal, a lock. Allah has set a seal on their hearts, on their ears, and over their eyes is a very dark covering. And over that eyes is a very dark covering, and for them is an intense torment. Sakht azab. For them is an intense torment. Now, discussing these two verses, verse number 6 and verse number 7 of Surah Al-Baqarah, the Mufassirin have stated, and as mentioned by Hazrat Allama Mufti radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that by discussing the enemies after the beloved ones, after the awliya meaning those who are the true believers in this sense. So he's saying that by discussing the enemies after discussing the beloveds shows the hikmah and the wisdom of guidance. It shows the hikmah behind the wisdom of guidance. And this comparison causes every person to look at his own character. It causes every person to look at his own character and understand its outcome. Understand what the result will be. Okay? Now, concerning this verse, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ. Okay? And therefore, in the commentary it is mentioned, there are numerous, obviously, interpretations, but here which is being mentioned in Khazan al-Fan, that the Shan-i-Nuzul, the wisdom behind the revelation, the divine wisdom behind the revelation, or in inverted commas, the cause, why this came down, when was this verse revealed. They state that this verse was revealed in connection with Abu Jahl. This verse was revealed regarding Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, and all the other disbelievers. This was revealed, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Okay? So this verse was revealed regarding Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, and other disbelievers who are deprived of Iman. They are deprived of Iman as it is in the knowledge of Allah. Allah knows, because everything is in the knowledge of Allah. Allah knows that whether Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warns them or warns them not, for them there will be no difference. Because in the ilm ilahi it is already there that for them kufr is written. In other words, ordained that this is what they will do. This is what they will do, okay? It is for this reason. It is for this reason that there is no use whether they are warned or not warned concerning their refutation of Almighty Allah, concerning their rejection of Allah. Because they made inkar, isn't it? They rejected the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah ta'ala is saying this in the Holy Quran, that whether Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam warns them or doesn't warn them, to such people there will be no difference. Okay? Because it is for, and they're saying, the Mufassirin is saying, it is for this reason that there is no use whether they are warned or not concerning the refutation of Almighty Allah, their refutation of Almighty Allah. In other words, the rejection of Almighty Allah. This shows, it is in the Tafseer says, that this shows that there is no benefit for them at all. There is no benefit for them at all. But the great attempts of the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, the great attempts of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will not go in vain. The great attempts of Rasul Pak, whether they accept or not, but the koshish and the mehnat of Rasul Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for the sake of tabligh deen will not go in vain. Because the general duty, the reality of the duty of the station of prophethood is to guide, propagate and establish evidence as per his status, as per his excellence, as per what is the reality. As per that, his duty is to pass the message. His duty is to give, to guide. His duty is to establish the evidence on what is true. Whether they believe or not makes no difference. Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam's duty is fulfilled. Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam has fulfilled his zimmedari. But the Quran is saying, look what the Quran is saying. Now I'm expounding. I'm moving away from what is actually here and expounding for you to understand that those whom Allah places a seal onto their hearts, ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم, those whom Allah Ta'ala has placed already. Allah has already placed. Okay, khatama. Okay, Allah has placed already. Same of the prayer. Allah has placed. Where? A seal where? Onto their hearts, onto their eyes, onto their hearing and onto their seeing. Covered completely. Now, I'm expounding from this, moving away from what is really here. Okay? It should make us understand. Sometimes you say, but Maulana, how is it that the Bad Mazhabs don't understand? Because you may say, but Maulana, here they are talking about the kafir, Abu Jahl, etc. You just said, yeah, but it doesn't only refer to them. It refers to those on the same lines and those worse than them also. The deviants are even worse than them. Okay, the deviants are worse than them. Read what Allah wrote about the worst of the unbelievers. What is these people? They are murtad. Those who completely deviate after claiming to be believing, they are the worst ones. Okay, but this is just food for thought for you to understand as I'm expounding. For us to understand that the reason this happens, you say, but how they can't see it? We are seeing it. Our children see it. Our children understand this thing. How can they understand it? ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم. Allah Ta'ala has placed a seal onto their hearts and their hearing and their seeing. They cannot see all these things. Okay, this was just for expounding and for understanding. Now, concerning this, the same verse, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ until the end, it is mentioned that one of the important maslas, one of the important rules in this case is that if the nation does not adhere to his call, if the nation does not adhere to the call of the Nabi, okay, they don't, what you call this, follow and listen to what the command of the Nabi is, then the guide still receives the rewards of guidance. Now no Nabi is going to come for understanding purpose. Not here, I'm expounding. But when the scholars who on haq pass the message, whether the people follow or not, they got the sawab. They got the reward. Okay? The ulama say, ulama haq say, the pious person told us something. We don't, the people, those who don't follow, there's no benefit. But for doing the responsibility and fulfilling the duty, they have already received their blessing from the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Because guidance is from Allah. The job of the leaders and the guides is to pass the message. Hidayat is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So the ruling here is stating that if the nation does not adhere, the people that do not adhere to the call, then the guide still receives the rewards of giving guidance. In this verse there is also consolation in regard to the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where Allah is giving him consolation that he should not be sad. That Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam should not be, at that time he should not be sad, and he should not be affected by the disbelievers not accepting Islam. He should not be sad and displeased or affected by the disbelievers not accepting Iman. Allah Ta'ala is telling him that his efforts are true and his propagation is perfect. His efforts are truly sincere and his tabligh, his propagation is perfect. There is no more perfect way than that which was by Rasulullah Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he will indeed receive the reward for this, for what he is doing. In reality, these unbelievers are the ones that are ill-fated. They are the ones that are ill-fated, for they are those who disobey the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are the ones who are disobeying Rasulullah Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Something very important here. What is the meaning of kufr? Okay, disbelief or unbelief. What does it mean? In simple terms, it's been explained here in this tafsir. Kufr means to reject the existence of Allah or the oneness of Allah, or to reject the prophethood of any prophet, or to reject any command from amongst the dururiyat-e-din, the essential necessary fundamentals of deen. To reject any one of them, or to reject any such action that according to the Shariah, or to reject, or they are saying any such action that according to the Shariah, that it is an action of rejection. In other words, it's an action that you cannot leave, but they reject it. In other words, to make inkar of it. Okay? All these are kufr. Example, in the last section, that if you read namaz, if you don't read namaz, is gunah kabira. To leave your namaz intentionally is a very big gunah. It's a gunah kabira. Okay? But if it won't make a person a kafir. It won't make him a kafir because he just left out his namaz or he missed out on namaz. But if a person rejects salah, now he comes out of the fold of Islam. So that which you're not allowed to reject, if you reject, you come out of the fold of Islam. So you must remember always, there's not something that, while I'm on this discussion, expounding, they say certain, Allah Hazrat made this person kafir, or this fatwa made that person. Nobody made them kafir. What they did made them kafir. Only after what they did and made them that then the rule was given, that this is what is their condition. Okay? Nobody makes anybody anything. Their own actions and their own doings make them what they are. But the rule is passed as yes, because he did that without comparison. Without comparison. A person murdered somebody. What he did? Without comparison. I'm giving you for understanding, not here, expounding. Without comparison. Somebody murdered somebody. Genuinely he is the murderer. The judge gives the verdict. This man is a murderer. Now is he a murderer because the judge gave the verdict? So you're going to say the judge made him a murderer? No, because he is proven a murderer. That's why the judge gave him that title, that he is the murderer. So these people, it is proven that their kufr is there. That's why the fatwa of kufr is given on them. Not because of that fatwa. He explained it. As I was saying, he explained them. Now, this is just by the way. It's a long discussion. Again, if we go to what Hazrat is saying, it's even longer discussion. But the point that we're saying is that he didn't say that, he didn't make them that. They made themselves that by their action. He explained what they did and he gave the ruling on it. Okay, so it must be understood. Very, very important. Otherwise, what happens is people misunderstand this, and every little thing they say, certain person made certain people. Then what are you going to say about the Holy Quran's commands? What are you going to say about the commands of the Holy Quran? Okay, expounding on this discussion. Now, the last part of this verse, Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim, a little bit longer today. The last part of this verse, Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim, or the next verse rather, wa ala sam'ihim wa ala absarihim ghishawa wa lahum azabun azim. The crux of this, the essence of this is that the kuffar are soaked so deep. They are soaked so deep in dhalalat, in falsehood, and in their wrong, their evil, that they are deprived to such an extent that their hearing, seeing and understanding is taken away. They are deprived to that extent that they are not able to hear, they are not able to see, they are not able to understand the truth. It is as if the heart and the ears have a seal on it, and the eyes has a dark covering on it. so they are not able to see. From this verse, the scholars have stated that it has become evident that even the actions of the servants are taht qudrat. Okay, they are subjected to the divine control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the divine will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This ends up to ayat number 7, which is the end of the first ruku of Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay, this ends the first ruku of Surah Al-Baqarah, inshallah.
ज़मीनो ज़मां तुम्हारे लिए, मकीनो मकान तुम्हारे लिए.